Safety first. As per the last census, the Indian workforce is over 400 million strong. By 2024, that number could very well cross 600 million, a 39.1% of the total Indian population. Over 42% work in heavy industries, use heavy machines, cope industrial hazards. A 17% of India's GDP comes from manufacturing industries. Safety is the first aid of the uninjured. Safety tops all the priorities in industrial sector. Worldwide, we have 340 million occupational accidents and 160 million victims of work-related illnesses annually. 6,000 die every day. Safety is a challenge. Be it any industry, organization, or an employee, everyone needs to be safe. Humans do, machines do. Industrial safety parameters are getting complex with each passing day. Elimination of industrial hazards is a dire necessity. Prevention of work-related injury is a prerequisite. Ask Abhinav Dar, a manager from one of the Fortune 100 companies, who lost his employee to a fatal industrial accident. His workers lost morale. His company lost productivity by 20%. Questions stare right into our eyes. How to be safe? What is the solution? Who can keep us safe? Well, maybe God can, but we try too. We provide solutions. We help keep the industry safe and give you round-the-clock visibility of your assets. Maybe God can, but we try too. We provide solutions. We help keep the industry safe and give you round-the-clock visibility of your assets. We are the Hacklab Solutions. We follow a 360-degree approach, considering all the three dimensions of safety implementation: management, machines, and workers. With advancement of AI, next-gen automation is all about machines and humans coexisting, each taking care of the other. Our aim, hence, is safety for productivity. We use IoT hardware integration with sharp AI edge processing, real-time environment monitoring, data insights, and worker safety profiling. We estimate risk, employ professionals, analyze scenarios, and provide solutions. Our systems can predict failures, warn you, and take action. Our suite of tracker products cater to major Fortune 500 companies and several industrial sectors ranging from FMCG, logistics, mining to metals, and manufacturing. Our safety product verticals include collision avoidance system, pedestrian alert system, AI-based compliance monitoring, safety interlocks, and smart traffic management system. Our security product verticals include tracker tags, smart tracker cam, tracker PA system. We have been recognized as the best Indian startup in the automation domain by Technovation Awards conducted by India Electronics and Semiconductor Association, IESA. We won the award for the Best Company and Innovation Showcase category by SIC IIT Kharagpur. We have gained trust of clients like Unilever, ITC, Pindalco Industries, and top Fortune 500 companies availing our products and services.
Of Hacklab Podcast, where we explore the transformative power of safety in industries. Today, we are diving deep into the intersection of leadership and academia to understand how they collectively shape safety practices. Our guest for today is Professor Dr. O.P. Krishna, Chair Professor at the Center of Excellence in Safety Engineering and Analytics at IIT Kharagpur. With over 37 years of experience in engineering, manufacturing, and safety management. A PhD graduate from IIT Kharagpur, he began his career at TATA Steel, where he implemented safety systems during major expansions and led corporate operations across India and Southeast Asia. As a consultant for DuPont, he contributed to safety frameworks for global industries. A former faculty at IIT Kharagpur, Dr. Krishna is also a member of World Steel and an avid golfer. Thank you, sir, for joining today. We are also joined by Mr. Ganesh, who is an independent safety consultant and leadership coach, and Mr. Vikram Rastogi, who is the founder of Hacklab Solutions. So, get ready for an insightful conversation packed with stories, data points, and actionable takeaways to inspire a safer tomorrow. Now we can begin our conversation, and I would request Ganesh sir to start.
Sure. Thanks for a very good introduction, Amber. I want to add a few more things, which is very important for us as well as for our audience to know. It is very rare to get somebody who is a blend of many things which is required for safety. Mr. O.B. Krishna is not from the safety to start with. He is a strong operating engineer. He has held very senior positions in Tata Steel, and during his operations career, he has done many things in operations related to safety, but not as a safety person. Then he was handpicked by the organization. In a very senior leadership position, he was moved horizontally to lead safety, which is very unique, and it didn't happen in 2024. So he goes back to probably one among those early people who moved from operations to safety. That's a very good thing. He qualifies because of that to be helping many other people. Second, he had a pretty decently long stint in safety, and during the engagement of that safety in Tata Steel, he transformed the organization's culture, which is unique, which is very different. I have mental pictures of what it was in 2003, 2004, my early days exposure to in 2016, my later days exposure. Huge transformation was possible because of one individual, that is O.B. Krishna. And that lot of credit for whatever he did there. Then he didn't stop there. Many people stop there at the time of retirement and they want to go and enjoy their life. What he did is he went ahead and did a PhD in an area related to safety. During our discussions, we can understand more from him how that transformation happened. He's been mentioned by many people in the industry as a benchmark example of contributing back to society after a professional career. And he's extended his contributions by going to academics. And today, academics need maybe 1,000 O.B. Krishna, if not 10,000 O.B. Krishna in India. That is what in my earlier podcast also we were discussing, how academics should help change the industry in safety, and OB is becoming a benchmark for that. So it is such a rich person, and I am privileged to be here in the podcast, linking Hacklab and OB sitting here. OB, I would like you to narrate your personal experience with respect to safety and how it happened over the long period.
See, as Ganesh told, I was a business head doing the steel plant equipment design, manufacturing, and action, which is a profit center. I was the executive in charge for that. I associated with designers, manufacturing, all these things. Then I moved to maintenance of Tata Steel. I was maintenance head. In 2004, Tata Steel acquired Chorus, a steel plant which is 4-5 times bigger than their own plant. Tata Steel had many reputations in terms of productivity, cost of production, human relations. They are treated as one of the good companies and benchmarks in some of the things. But obviously, being in the developed country, safety, we are not at par with the European companies because of various things. The traditional, conventional safety heads could not deliver the requirements of the Tata Steel. Neither the management was happy nor the union was happy. At that time, I was asked by the managing director, can you take up this? I say, I'm very happy. In my perception, safety is different compared to others. That's how I landed in safety. In one of the Apex Council meeting, where all the union people, all the management people, everybody was sitting, the MD, Mr. Muthuraman, was chairing.
I shown the result of Tata Steel safety performance for the last 50 years. Especially the LTI's reduction is not real the safety performance. The fatalities, serious incidents, the fatalities remained almost same for the last 50 years, which is good for Indian standards. For Indian standards, Tata Steel was taken as one of the very good company in safety also. But if you compare to standards of the world, it is not good. So I told the MD one thing. If you do anything consistently same, that means you are expert in that. If you are doing consistently same in the serious and fatal incidents, it means we have not understood safety. We don't know really safe. That is a mind-blocking statement in the management and union meeting. Many management people were hurt, very, very greatly they were hurt. Union people are also hurt because every alternate day they give pep talks on safety. I also told MD, if anybody, I also don't know about safety. Let me tell you very frankly, I also don't know safety. I am also like you, business people. If anybody in the world who have given consultancy to industries and changed that industry into a good safety performing organization, if you get me in contact with them, I promise you, I will take the role of helping the whole organization in transforming. Then he said, Obi, a few months back, I was in World Steel. Some DuPont guy was making presentation on safety. And he said they have transformed blue scope steel of Australia. So all are impressed. So why did you get DuPont? He said, okay, sir, that's good enough for me. If he had certified the credential of DuPont and given permission for me to go to DuPont. After the meeting, I found out from various sources who is the Indian guy who is heading DuPont. So Ganesh name EQMS had given the EQMS is a consultant.
Yes.
So I know him. That Chaturvedi was the managing director of that.
I remember.
He had given the contact of Ganesh and his location, telephone number. Then I rang up to him. I talked to Ganesh. I told him, can you come tomorrow?
I remember.
Yeah. And he came within 2 days. That started the conversation, getting into DuPont. So DuPont made me to understand to great extent what is really safety. Then I've been to Blue Scope Steel. I've been to Wilmington. I was the sustainability assessor for DuPont plants. Quite a number of times I went to the Wilmington headquarters of DuPont. Many people I interacted with. I have presented many things to the DuPont people.
Yes.
So that's how I have developed. We have helped Tata Steel. And DuPont also got help from me.
Sure.
That's how I landed into the safety function. And with the help of DuPont, we could do many things. DuPont shows the direction. They don't handhold. They will show the direction. The people have to move in the direction and work hard and get the results. They will not help by holding the hand in the implementation. That's a good thing. The leadership, the union who is very forward looking, that sort of consultant is good. Tata Steel actually has got the tradition. They believe, suppose if you don't know the things properly, if you start from the grassroots and reinventing the things, it will take years together to achieve the result. Instead, if you can hold of the people who are experts in this, get them, work with them, very fast. That is the policy Tata Steel used to adopt. But that is one of the success principles of Tata Steel. We have McKinsey's, we have Boozel, and we have many consultants with us. DuPont also, we paid to the extent of maybe some 75 crores in a period of, say, 8-9 years. None of the person in Tata Steel, either union or management, has questioned the expenditure made on DuPont, has questioned the returns what we got from the DuPont. We all felt we have got much more than what we have given to DuPont.
Yeah, for the benefit of the listeners, I just want to say a few things, pick from what Obi said, few things, and maybe then we can go back to Obi. For example, you have to be uncomfortable about current state. That's what he says. For change to happen, you have to be uncomfortable about current state. That's what Obi said. That's what Tata Steel, his own company, felt that time. They didn't feel it. He put statistics to them, say that you are doing the same, your number of people getting killed is the same, then the population of the company has come down, but the number of people getting killed remains the same. That is very different statement. People were only looking at the top line, how many people getting killed, not the bottom line. The company reduced the number of people, but still the fatalities remain the same. And that created the discomfort. So for a change, I think discomfort is the first thing. Second, seek help. And when you seek help, don't seek help from anybody. Go and get the help from best. Even if it is going to cost you more, probably the results will be better. I'm not advocating any consulting company or any consulting person, but always, if you see, Indian culture has always taught us go to your guru when you don't know something. So go to your guru and get it. Gurus don't handhold. Gurus show the direction. The Indian epics, it's all that. It's a very good delivery of Indian culture related to safety. He also said in between, developed countries were doing better. India should do better than developed countries because we have thousands of years of heritage and we can learn from them. So thanks, Obi. That made your first phase of your career in safety. You were talking about it, and I want to re-emphasize that. You told the union and your people that I am like you. I am not a person who is coming with a danda and then expecting everybody to behave differently. I am not that sort of a safety person. I am like you. I am a business person. That's what he said. And that made huge difference in the way he communicated. Right, Obi? So that is what is line management saying, I want safety and let's own together statement, which comes philosophically in many safety philosophy, especially DuPont philosophy, talks about line management involvement in safety. And Obi was a good example of a line management taking over safety. Thanks for stating everything in such a few minutes, a great experience. Go ahead.
So we have Tata Steel finally had become benchmark not only in India, at the world level,
Global.
In the safety also.
Yes.
We have improved from 3 million to 4 million to 6 million to 10 million at Tata Steel, Jamshedpur. We have other plants, 6 million different in India. And we have in other countries. But our fatality rates or LTI rates have become very compatible with any of the developed countries. And learning from, say, a consultant, DuPont, you will be surprised. I know about DuPont much more than about the DuPont consultants, their own DuPont consultants. Because I met so many people, I've seen so many places, I read so much about DuPont. With the help of DuPont, we have converted mines, collieries into a good place. And with that knowledge, we took it to around 27, 28 of our associated companies. I was the principal consultant for them. And we have converted all those plants into plants in Singapore. I remember, Ganesh, I want to give one example. Todd Puchler was one of the principal consultants.
Yes.
Very old guy of 75 years, very rich guy. He used to stay in Bray Island, only 500 people stay. He is one of the person. Finally, I went to his house also. In Bray Island, I visited his house. The Cooper was his wife. She's a writer. I stayed in American houses, nobody stay. Todd used to come to my house very often whenever we used to have lunch, dinners, enjoy everything. I also enjoyed there. One very good example, see, Pur was in a place where the traditional ladies are very much. It is Adivasi community all around. Many Adivasi ladies used to come and work. They come with colorful saris and they used to work. Todd had seen them. Maybe did they meet with any accident because they are using the loose clothing? I said, yeah, Todd, it happened. Because of loose clothing, many incidents happened. Then why don't you advise them to get away from the loose clothing? I said, Todd, these are all the customs of the Adivasis, and don't touch those things. It's not good. They will not accept to touch their customs. He is not convinced. The old man was not convinced. He went to many people in the organization. They also told the same thing. Finally, he said, Obi, you get the time fixed with MD. Okay, I take you to MD. We took to MD. He told MD the same thing. He also told the same thing. Then he came out. He said, Obi, all of you people sang the same song in chorus. No difference. You do one thing. You take me to the Adivasi ladies who are working there in the construction site. Then I said, Todd, what will you do? I want to talk to them. I can't understand your American accent. What language you will talk to them? Obi, it's my job. Please take me there. I took to those places. Then he said, you go, and I'll call you when my conversation is over. After half an hour, he gave a ring. Obi, come and take me. I took him to my room, offered a cup of tea. What happened, Todd? All you've told me wrong things, he said. They said they don't have any problem in wearing pant shirt. They only said because in the construction sites, there are no toilets provided. They use the saris to protect themselves, and there are no change rooms also. If you provide these things, no problem. So, Todd, I want to get confirmed. You send somebody. I send a supervisor, contractor supervisor, find out what happened. He repeated exactly what Todd told. Once the direction is shown, I said, Tata Steel will go very fast. Then within 6 months, whole of the ladies with loose clothing is with pant shirts.
Yeah.
With dressing room, with toilets.
Actually, we did a BBC video talk about this as part of BBC effort. We made a video of this where Mr. Nerurkar, myself, and the lady who was instrumental in it, they are all there. Incidentally, I was the translator between Coach Todd Cutler and the ladies. With my poor Hindi, I could translate American English for the benefit of the ladies. He needed somebody to translate what he was saying, and I happened to be that person, privileged to be there that time. And we have done a video much later, and I can share that video with you guys.
Share with these people. I was also there. I was instrumental in getting everything done and all those things. A lady from Singapore had come, corporate.
Sulin Chi was there.
This is on the behavioral part. I'll give you one example of the engineering part. See, Todd once said, Bobby, why don't you implement positive energy isolation? I asked Todd, what is that? He said, Bobby, very simple. When people work on the machines, all the energies should be made zero so that he will be victim of any of the energy while
Right.
working. And that energy becoming zero should happen positively. Not I made zero and Ganesh put on the power again, not like that. The energies should be made positively zero means you should put off, isolate, lock, and the key should be with the person. It really struck to my mind. Then immediately my team, I asked, find out last 50 years. I explained them what is the energy isolation and all those things. How many serious accidents happen because not having energy isolation?
Right.
You'll be surprised. 70 to 80% of the serious accidents happen because of not having or not understood or not implemented energy isolation.
Right.
What else clue you require for a person who is looking for a change to transform the whole company? I have access to MD, all these people, because all those people believe OB will do something because of my background. I can talk to union president on phone. I can go to his room. Normally people don't want to go to union president's room, but I can go very easily. I can go. I can call him in my room. He will come. So this I told MD, explained MD very clearly. Todd doesn't know much about energy isolation,
Yes.
but the concept he knows. That's
Yes.
only concept he knows. I told MD, 70 to 80% of serious incidents could be avoided if we implement positive energy isolation. I explained in his own terms. And I also told this was done in Blue Scope Steel. They took 3 years to do it. So if you agree, then we'll go about it. It's a very difficult thing to implement, to change the machines, to educate the people, to follow the discipline, to bring the equipment for energy isolation cost. He said, go ahead. But only one request, let's do better than Blue Scope Steel. When we put this proposal to the committee, the maintenance and electrical heads said, no, not possible. It's so much discipline required. We cannot do it, all those things. The person chairing the meeting, Mr. Sengupta, is there, Deepankar Sengupta. I briefed him in advance. He kept on telling these people, electrical people are very funny. Convincing them is very difficult. Vikram, you're also electrical, I think. But once convinced,
Yeah.
they do with zero tolerance.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the advantage.
Very good.
So I have electrical head, Mr. Chaudhary. Then I told Mr. Sengupta, the trump card I have put. This is the instruction from MD. Then he said, guys, you have only one option. We have to do it, and we have to do better than Blue Scope Steel. Now you think what is to be done.
Yeah.
We want to see somewhere where it is done. Okay? There's a plant, DuPont plant in Vadodara. Where
I
the
remember.
petrol,
We both were there. I
Yeah.
took you to Savli, and then you wanted to focus only on isolation.
The guy who is heading there, I told him, ours to see energy isolation because we don't want to get disturbed with many other things.
Right.
Always my focus is like that. Once I focus on certain thing, I don't want to get diverted, deviated.
Sure.
People have seen thoroughly every place. They have seen, enjoyed. Good,
Yes.
working well.
Yes.
Then I said, my job is over. When they came back to the plant, Jamshedpur, we had a meeting. They said, okay, the Savli plant, okay, but it's a small plant.
Yeah, I remember that.
So then I said, big is comprising of small only.
Many small, yeah. Yes.
See, we have the concept of big Q, small q, total quality and product quality. Small q is small department comprising, big Q is the whole organization. We have learned all these things from Dr. Kano and we have implemented.
Yeah.
No, OB, it's not like that. We want to see big plant. Which plant you want to see? So Todd said Blue Scope Steel. Believe me, the head of safety, he was my good friend. I met him in World Steel, in many places. I rang up to him. He said, okay. By the time we had some association, we have joint venture in India, Blue Scope. So he was Mike. I taken sanction for 5 teams, 6 people each. Within 4 months, I sent these teams one by one, 6.
To Australia, from Jamshedpur.
Australia. From Jamshedpur, Australia. Mostly line managers, some safety professionals. They said, oh, they have taken every, see, my friend there, he had given, because we are joint ventures, he had given all the procedures, he had explained everything, all the things they have seen, how they have converted the machines, how these people have asked whatever they want to ask. The electrical guy said, Mr. Chaudhary, OB, it's possible.
Sure.
So again, we had a meeting. So I suggested Dipankar Sen Gupta, let's have a positive isolation standards committee. And I suggest DM Chaudhary to head that committee with mechanical, electrical. And the way it is not only implementing positive energy isolation, the energy it brought into the people,
Yes.
of the leadership,
Yes.
union, workers,
Yes.
somehow they felt, yes, we are going to be saved under any circumstances. When you take up the initiative, you require booster doses, booster energies to keep the initiatives alive and take policy upward directions. Within 2 years, we have done it. Even now, I keep moving to many places in the organizations, many places in the world. I have seen many organizations in the world. I was with DuPont consultant for 3 years. I was MICA consultant, mechanical integrity and quality assurance. DuPont has got huge confidence on me. In fact, I am the one most qualified consultant.
Yes.
There is one more guy, doctor, but I was the only doctor.
I understand.
When I used to go to industries, people used to say, doc, these things. So wherever I used to go, I implemented energy isolation. I got it implemented energy isolation in Hyundai Steel, South Korea, many places. Quantum changes, people look for quantum changes if you want to see any initiative.
Sure.
Continuous improvement is not acceptable in the present day. Quantum improvements, then you have continuous improvement to stabilize it. But you require quantum improvements. That's how we have done in Tata Steel many things, and I enjoyed.
I would like to butt in. Many things you said are the technical aspects, but there are a few human aspects here. I want to touch upon the human aspects. The first human aspect is when everybody else say it is not possible, show them it is possible. Once you do that, change happens. That's what he has done. So how do you shake that belief system? First thing. Second thing is the place where it was learned first was not BHP Steel, was not the biggest DuPont plant. Probably in the smallest DuPont plant, amongst the smallest is Savli, less than or around 100 people. Very small electrical facility. I still remember because I was the host for that visit of OB. OB came from Jamshedpur to Mumbai and we went from Mumbai to Savli. And who was the person he was connecting with? The electric section operator, who is a contract labor, who can only talk Gujarati. He cannot even talk Hindi. We need a translator to translate his Gujarati to Hindi such that OB can communicate. Contractor labor. He's contractor labor. He still came down with the electric Nomax garment from third floor down. And while coming down, he was holding handrails. These are all the things OB was observing, his behaviors.
Right.
Is he holding handrails? Is he having a proper PPE? ये मेरा एरिया है. मेरा बॉस को भी अंदर आने के लिए, इलेक्ट्रिकल एरिया में आने के लिए ये ड्रेस पहनना पड़ता है. उनको मैं नहीं छोड़ दूंगा क्योंकि ये मेरा टेरिटरी है. I still remember this dialogue coming from the lowest of lowest person there, and which he highlighted to his people, and then he learned how isolation is done, because the isolation concept has to penetrate to that level. That's why that small can happen big concept. Third thing is that he went around the world, sent teams around the world. Company was willing to invest on an effort which no person talking productivity will initially agree. Because for a 5 minutes electrical shutdown, typically average, you will take 45 minutes for isolation. Am I correct, Obi?
Yeah.
Or sometimes even more. People will say, "Aure 5 minute ka kaam, maintenance kaam ke liye, do I put 45 minutes for isolation?" Nahi hoega. So instead of saying that, what did he start? 70 to 80% of major incidents happen from lack of isolation. He didn't talk about time. He talked about effort and pain. These are some of the human elements coming out of this experience. Fantastic, Obi. Thank you very much. Nice story.
Initially, we used to have time loss, but later the shutdown times have come down. Officers who are the head of the shutdowns, they used to sleep peacefully in the house if the shutdown extends in the night. They don't have any problem because isolation is done, nothing will happen. In the construction sites, projects, people used to say, my project will be delayed. But at the end of the day, after a few months, all said, it is essential, nothing will be delayed. This cost of isolation has reduced actually our cost. It has our people. Otherwise, for vigilance, a lot of people used to keep.
True.
So I know we need to be conscious of your time and everybody's time. Let us just switch gear a little bit. The OB, the operations person, OB, the safety person, how he convinced, this is not OB. It is giving elements for everybody listening to this. What are the elements which are involved here? But I also would like to hear more from a very odd combination, OB, the academician. That is what I think we have been talking in a few of our podcasts, how academics in India today, especially the engineers being educated, how much they lack understanding of safety and what can we do about it. That's the place where I would like to pitch. Can we move there unless Vikram has anything else to talk about these operations and safety? I would like to focus on the academics part. This is where the enriching experience will come.
Yes.
Yeah,
In fact, Vikram, maybe next 6 months, I am going to publish a book,
Oh,
a storyline. See, IT professors publish high technical books.
right.
No, safety management, my whole journey of safety management, how it started, how I could convert the organizations, how the academia can help. Combining all these things in terms of story, the purpose of this book is, see, I've seen, even now I'm seeing many small scale industries, many medium scale industries don't have access to real safety. Even many big industries do not know the right direction how to move. This book, which I'll write, a series of books will come on this,
Yes, sir.
will help these industries without going to a consultant,
Yes.
without formal training. By implementing the things which I mentioned there, then the safety management explained in a very detailed way. By going through, they'll be able to do their own people and get the benefit out of it.
Sure.
Perfect, sir. I think that is the need of the hour, because
That's the need of
it
the
should not only be formal engineering. It should become the intuition of the people, like how it should happen, what they should do. I think stories are the way of going ahead. And
This
in your
inspiration came to me This month only, I went to DRDO,
Okay.
DRDO Chandipur. So they are conducting some workshop. They want me as the chief guest of that function and speak 2 hours to all the scientists, many people,
Right.
on the safety management for DRDO. The director was there, many people were there. After in the keynote speech as a chief guest, I was observing one person very concentratedly hearing. Then after that, again he sat in the whole 2 hours. He heard, he interacted. My lectures will be not from the podium.
Right.
I'll be moving with the people with the headphone and keeping talking. You will not see more than 1 or 2 slides.
Right.
So he came to me after that. Sir, did you write any book? I said, no, I have not written, but thinking, sir, these 2 hours what you spoke, if I put you in the form of book, that will be very useful to the people.
True.
For knowing, implementing, taking the safety management. Why don't you do that? He said, can I ask for your introduction? He said, I am additional director of DRDO. And Dr. Sengupta, did you write book? He's a computer science engineer.
Right.
Going to retire shortly, within a year or 2 years. Did you write books? Sir, I written 12 books. So I'll help you. I'll guide you. Then will you send some books which you have written? I came here and he said, can you suggest some simple books on safety? Simple books on safety are not there.
Right.
But I'll send you some management books on safety.
Right.
So I know some books. I know those authors also. So I suggested. He was very happy. Said, sir, I am sending some of my books to you. Then we had many discussions. Then I thought I should write a book, storyline book with pictures, good pictures. Anybody read the book of Naidu on Lighthouse? He had
No.
written a book on, I came up on a lighthouse on Ratan Tata he had written.
Okay.
Ratan Tata had given the introduction.
Yeah,
Very,
I heard about the book. I have not read. Yeah.
I impressed the way he had written, the pictures he had put. So I wanted to write in that passion.
Good.
So many things will come. Let
Really
me tell
getting,
you
sir.
the academic part.
Yeah. Move to academics, and what we three would like to hear from you is how you moved into academics, why academics. Second, what do you think the current academics contribution to safety in general is? From an engineering, manufacturing people, what academics is doing today and how that can change or how that should change. Third, for doing that, what are the possibilities? What are the suggestions from your own experience? What do you suggest? I know IIT Kharagpur is exceptional, but there are many engineering colleges, many students, many academic institutions, even professors. They have absolutely no clue on safety. So how can we help them? How can institutes help them do it better? Let us move in that direction.
Okay.
IIT Kharagpur example will help, but that has to inspire other people to do it. Am I correct, Vikram? You want to add to anything to that?
What has been your experience with academics, and especially when we deal with the regulatory bodies and things like that?
If I don't cover that, Vikram, remind me.
Sir.
See, I want to have doctorate to my name. That was my aspiration because my mentor was Dr. Irani, the managing director of TATA Steel. Always I want to have doctorate to my name. So I did my MTech part-time in NIT,
Okay.
Jamshedpur, with great difficulty. Then I was in such positions I could not concentrate on education. But always my desire is to go to have a doctorate degree before I leave Tata Steel. And I should go to IIT and transform my thinking to the academics. That was my vision, my thinking. So 10 years before I retired, I started, I was guest lecturer in IIT Kharagpur. I used to come for assessment. I used to come for panel discussion associated with IIT Kharagpur. Then I told one of the HOD of the industrial systems engineer, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Dr. Vijay Kumar, my desire to do PhD. I said, we would like to entertain, which is your field? I want to do in ergonomics. So he had introduced to some professors. That one professor agreed, okay, we'll do. So that's how I completed my PhD. It took 7 years.
You did it while working?
One semester I had to be here, rest of the semesters from working.
Okay.
Because my PhD was not complete, I accepted the extension of 1 year in Tata Steel.
Okay.
Finally, I got my degree in 2013. So when I went to write the written test for PhD,
Right.
the formalities and the rules are same for everybody. Your age, your designations doesn't make any difference in the academics. When I went to write the written test, because I was going to IIT Kharagpur earlier also, the lady faculty who was the invigilator, she stood up. She thought I came for something else. Ma'am, I came for writing the written test exam. Then I have so many pleasant stories.
Right.
I sat with the BTech students in some of the credits. Along with the BTech students, I used to get those BTech students used to call me Obi. I stayed with the students. They wanted to give some special accommodation. I said I don't want. I want to stay with the students. I enjoyed students. I enjoyed the whole my PhD. So the directors were my friend, professors were my friends, and all those things. So that's how I could complete my PhD. When the degree was given to me, the director was much younger than me. If 2005 Texas BP incident, British Petroleum incident,
Right.
which has killed, I don't want to give the numbers. The report, Baker report, which I had given, one of the recommendations they have said, the operational engineers of process safety have forgotten academics, forgotten process safety fundamentals. The occupational safety performance, which is measured in terms of LTI,
Right.
which keep on reducing for many reasons. The process engineers, the leadership felt they are doing very well in process safety also. Some of the safety specialists mentioned your processes are not good. They've forgotten the parameters for measurement of occupational safety and process safety are different. Occupational safety, you talk LTI. Process safety, you talk about containment losses, loss of containment, LOC.
Right.
The measurement of process safety. Occupational safety could be addressed by anybody. Process safety is to be done by the specialists, process engineers. They have to understand the hazard, they have to understand the risk, they have to put the interventions. A lot I can talk on these things. The panel, Baker also recommended the operational engineers of British Petroleum should be sent to educational institute like MIT to educate themselves on process safety. And BP had sent people to MIT to educate them. The same example, when we were implementing process safety, we know DuPont was may not be capable. They themselves said educational institutes are better. I talked to IIT Kharagpur. We got the process safety training courses here for 2-3 batches. So we have given competencies of the people in process safety. I did my PhD in IIT Kharagpur. Then I went to DuPont for 3 years. After completion, the director of IIT Kharagpur, PPC, Partha Chakravarti, and my guide, Professor Maiti, we said, why don't you join IIT Kharagpur and help us to establish safety lab, safety education here? I said, I committed for DuPont. I'll be here for 3 years. And I'm involved in many projects. Afterwards, I'll come back. So as soon as I completed 3 years, I came to IIT Kharagpur as
Professor.
visiting professor. In between, I was helping Professor Maiti in establishing safety analytics lab, which you have seen, Vikram,
Yes.
and many of the things in safety. In fact, IIT Kharagpur helped me in Tata Steel, a team of 3-4 people, Professor Tiwari, President Director, Professor Maiti, Professor P.K. Ray, in many of the initiatives of safety at Tata Steel. Certain things I had taken help from these people. So that's why as soon as I completed my contract, I joined IIT Kharagpur. Okay. Let me tell you, after coming to IIT Kharagpur, after working for 2 years, I discovered a very interesting thing. My work in Tata Steel safety, I facilitated many improvements, not brought, I should not say. I have not really understood concept of safety. Surprised to hear this statement, no? People are confused between safety engineering and general engineering. I can tell many people who are in the safety field, they do not know this difference. The academics gives you exposure to many literature. Literatures talk about fundamentals theories.
Right.
You can buy it directly after going to many invitations, many people will see it. General engineering it talks about the function. Mechanical engineering on mechanical functions, electrical engineering on electrical functions. They design, they make everything. Even the safety factor they put is actually for the functional safety, functional requirement only. On the basis of functional requirement, they put the safety factor. Whereas safety engineering is different. Safety engineering is understanding your systems, total system, whatever there in the system. There are processes, there are work processes, there are equipment, there are technical processes, there are human, there is environment, all these things. You understand the system thoroughly. In fact, they are the systems giving energy to drive the whole production, anything, energies. The same systems also, the source for hazard is nothing but the energy which is helping you, the material which is helping you, the human which is helping you, the environment which is helping you. If it has got potential to harm,
Right.
because they are energies, no?
Yes.
If they have potential to harm, then that harm may happen if you don't manage correctly. Correct? That's what Murphy said. Murphy said, the bad things, failures may happen one day.
Murphy's law.
Murphy's law. Hence, you design
Yeah.
equipments for the worst case scenarios. Same thing. These systems have potential energies created for your benefit,
Yes.
for your production. If they don't reach the source to destination in the designated path, as you
Right.
defined,
Right.
if they deviate from the path, then they will harm the people.
Right.
The deviation of the path is called hazard. Hazard is not created by God. Hazard is created by engineers like you who design the machines, systems, making production for your comfort.
How many stories are there in our Puranas which talks about the same concept?
Yeah, correct. So how the hazards are coming out. You should understand how the potential energy can come out. What ways it can come out. What are the initiating mechanisms? And what consequence it can make.
Yes.
Then you have to put the interventions. These are
Right.
potential things. Nothing happened.
Yes.
You have to put interventions, real interventions, to the potential hazards
Yes.
Right.
to make your system safe.
Yes.
So, understanding the system, assessing the hazards, calculating the risk means what can happen. So, what the probability of hazard coming out, what is the severity of hazard hitting you, the combination of these two. Whenever you say probability, a lot of mathematics are there, a lot of theories are there. That is the risk. The hazard making harm, this harm is measured by risk.
Yes.
If you calculate, understand hazard, calculate risk and sleep,
Yes.
nothing will happen. You
Right.
have to put the interventions
Yes.
and you have to manage that interventions.
Test.
Right.
They'll work, you should be healthy.
Yes.
This is all safety engineering.
Yes.
Safety is understood by the hazard assessment. Safety is measured by the risk. Unless you measure, you don't accept. I am an engineer scientist. Unless you measure and tell me. So safety could be measured. If somebody says safety cannot be measured, as an academician, I will not agree. There are qualitative measurements, there are quantitative measurements. So this is the safety engineering. Understanding the systems, breaking the systems into system breakdown, understanding the hazards, understanding the hazard initiating mechanism, calculating the risk, understanding the risk and calculating the risk, putting the interventions, and maintaining the intervention. Suppose if I put positive energy isolation as an intervention,
Yeah.
and I slept, and things are slackened, people will get it.
So
you have to
basically,
measure.
the human action is also very important.
Yeah,
Like
human action.
so,
In the system breakdown, human is also there.
because we are seeing so many accidents happening. Everybody is putting sensors. Everybody is putting so many things in hospitals. We have fire alerts, but still we are seeing so many accidents happen because they are not maintained.
Correct.
That is something that boils down to human. You can do a lot of things. You can bring in a lot of things, but until humans act on it, we cannot prevent an accident from happening. So we have to have human action as part of it.
We talk about the entropy risk model,
Right.
in which one of the factors is human.
Right.
If in the organization, if
Right.
an IIT graduate has to be put for strategy position, you put normal position, normal
Right.
person, he will take wrong strategies.
Right.
Or if a diploma holder has to be put as a technician for maintaining the thing, you don't have people diploma holder, you have put an ITI guy.
Right.
It is the deterioration. In fact, hazard comes out with the deterioration of these systems,
Right.
which you said. Deterioration of these systems are the root cause for the hazards coming out. This is safety engineering. So, after my coming over here, I give so many lectures across the world. First, I'll explain what is safety, what is safety engineering, what is general engineering. On that only the whole thing moves. So my coming to IIT happened because of the request by the director and my guide. After coming here, I understood the fundamentals. In Tata Steel, we have huge data developed. I was very happy. I have a lot of data, lot of observation data, lot of incident data. I used to tell IIT people, why don't you do analytics? Analytics is different from analysis in one thing. Analytics analyze data on statistical principles and prediction they do. The analytics do prediction, analysis cannot do prediction.
Right.
That is the difference. Analytics, if you do, it can predict. Analytics is based on the data only.
Yes.
If you have good data,
You will have a good prediction.
it predict correctly. Prediction is not, it will form a rule. It will tell a rule. If you don't have data, we have a consultancy from HPCL. They said you predict the data for our safety, on safety data. What data they have? It's a petrochemical company. Maybe 1 or 2 incidents happen throughout the year. 2
Right.
incidents. The data which they have is some near misses, some incident, some serious incidents. What prediction people can make? If a child walks from one place to other, 10 times he will try to fall.
Right.
The mother who is observing the child, she will put hand on the right side. Husband feels, hey, why she is putting on the right side? She should have put on the left side. Mother knows this fellow, after falling after 9 times, he will fall on the right side. Hence, for the 10th time, she will put her hand on the right side. That is the data. That is the prediction. She
Right.
predicts based on the 9 times data of these people.
True.
Similarly, nobody knows in this world, nobody wants to generate safety data, but they want prediction in safety. People predict business, finance, elections, everything.
Based on
But
it.
safety, people could not predict because the data which they collect is the rubbish data. The Tata Steel, what data we have collected all these years are not for prediction. When we have filtered, when we have cleaned the data, actual prediction data is not available.
Right.
People have to define every potential. The day I defined safety, hazard, risk, intervention, these things should come. Then we can predict.
Right.
People just write without these things. It is not the data. We tell industries how to generate good data, big data, very high velocity data, high variety data. The fluctuations in the process could be a safety data.
That's what your analytics department focus.
Yeah.
Very good.
In a hydraulic line, the sweating of the hydraulic pipe is data. If the sweating is happening continuously at many places, you can analyze what is the effect of the sweating, why it is coming. If the sweating persists, how the high pressure hose will fail. With the 200 bars high pressure hose, what harm it can make to the people.
True.
If you say only harm, if you forget about those sweating, it's not the data.
Yes.
Right.
Data is what is causing it. Data could be collected through CCTVs, what you said. Data could be collected to videos. Data could be collected through some audits. Data could be collected through potential analysis, potentially looking.
Yes.
Especially the process incidents, you will not get data by seeing it.
Yes.
Potentially, you have to engineering where you should look and come to, you will generate some data. All this data, continuously it should come. Then you will use some machine learning techniques.
Right.
You will train the machine. Some data will give it to the machine. It will become a training data. Based on the data, we'll ask machine to analyze the rest of the data. That is the machine learning techniques.
But this data problem that you are saying, we also face this issue. Like, we have been working in this field. Do you see that this problem is more in India than outside India?
Outside also, everywhere it is same.
Yeah, very
Safety. Safety, Vikram, safety, I don't feel much difference in India and abroad.
Okay.
And
Difference comes, let me tell you. When I was in Tata Steel, when we have taken the European plant, I went to Skantrov, and that's a European plant. I seen the trains moving People are crossing the track.
Oh,
People are stopping. Train is moving. As soon as the train moved, people crossed. In Tata Steel, we have many incidents, but they don't have incidents for these because the value of life is more.
right.
People are more educated.
Okay.
People know how to protect them. Even the
Okay.
hazard is there.
Okay.
People say, no, I will not go. Unless you do it, I will not go. Workers are cheaper, labor is cheaper, contract labor is cheaper. Whatever you say, they will do it.
Right.
Looking at the hazard is different in advanced countries
Yeah,
compared to our people.
actually, I just want to add one more thing here, which in an Indian situation, it is not only that people are educated less, it also assumed that taking that risk is what I am supposed to do. Customized to a particular thinking, saying, I also have to take that risk because as at every level, MDs take a particular risk and a contractor labor has to take a particular risk. I think nothing to do with education, but it's a customization of the mind.
In the Hitachi plant here, they had a fatal once. The MD is known to me. They requested me, why don't come once? I went. The Hitachi people were Japanese people. They were explaining something, it is run over by people. They have put the lines, people should not cross this line. The Japanese guy says, this whole plant is designed by Japanese. Safety systems are put by Japanese. But their safety systems are for Japan people.
Japan, yeah.
He says, Doc, why we have put a line here not to cross? Why people have crossed? I said, you tell me why people have crossed. You tell me why people have crossed. That is the difference you should understand. If you have a 3-year-old baby, if you put a line and say, don't move, you will put some barricade for her. Because her learning is different, her thinking is different.
Right.
Here, the Indian culture is different. Don't blame culture. Culture
No,
because
understand
of
it.
things.
Yeah.
I can talk of safety culture days to
We can do 3 more podcasts.
So
Maybe
it took 5 minutes for me to educate him.
Yes, understand.
The requirement of hazard, risk, intervention.
Simply
You put the soft intervention. When the potential is fatality, serious, you have to put hard intervention.
Yeah. Sure.
To explain this to Hyundai Steel people, it used to take a lot of my time
Yes.
to talk about the perception of interventions are different.
Yes.
So after coming to IIT Kharagpur, I have understood all these things. Then I have also understood a big gap in this society. The IIT gives education in mechanical engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering. They don't give education in the safety engineering. If you don't give education to the premier students who are going to premier industries and occupy very strategic positions, how do they implement safety requirements in the equipment they design? I've been telling IIT since 2011, you should start safety engineering here. Because people will feel pride in coming to IIT Kharagpur.
Yes.
And their contributions will be very huge.
Actually, it is not just IIT safety engineering. I think every engineering college in India ideally should have a safety engineering discipline. That is what will change India because IIT is privileged. The people who are working in companies don't have to come necessarily from IIT. There are many organizations which may not have even one IITian in 1,000 or maybe 10,000. But why not that happen in every engineering college? Why not at least 100 engineering colleges or 1,000 engineering colleges, the top 1,000 have an engineering discipline for safety. And second thing is that safety engineering, as very correctly told by Obi, is not just engineering, it is management also. You asked a few questions about human. which goes into the aspects of people management. So safety engineering department should be a blend of safety engineering and people management, and that should be the concept ideally.
Yeah, you're right, Ganesh. But the point I was telling, if IITs start these things, people follow IITs.
True.
See, people follow leaders. I'll give you one example, a leader and followers. Vikram, this is for you. When I was in Tata Steel, I used to play golf every day. Even now also I go to Jamshedpur every month and play golf. We used to start at 5:30 in the morning. We used to finish by 7:30. After 7:30, there is a Shiva temple, old Shiva temple. There's a big Kali temple, everybody goes to, but the Shiva temple is very old, very hardly people know about it. I also came to know at that time. We used to go, I like old temples, I used to go there. One day, I seen a bull with injury in his leg, oozing. Then I asked the pujari, why not we do something to this? सर क्या कर सकता है? कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. हम लोग दूर से कुछ मेडिसिन डालते रहता है. Then 2-3 times when I seen it hurt my, I went to department. I have one supervisor, Jha. हम बोला झा जी you have to help me. ये है, इसको मदद करना है. Personal level, I'll give whatever money is required. He went there and he had seen. He had located one Goshala,
Right.
about 10-15 kilometers away. He talked to them. They said, if you bring that bull here, we'll treat it.
Okay.
I told Jhaji, how will you take? Sir, आप बोल दिया ना मैं कर दूंगा. आप खाली वो पुजारी को बोलिए जब वो आता है उसको थोड़ा गुड़ खिलाते रहेगा, वो वहीं रहेगा, हमको खबर दे दी.
Okay.
One day it came, पुजारी rang up to me. पुजारी को बोला आप उसको 1-2 किलो गुड़ ले आके उसको खिलाते रहिए. सर इतना तो हम लोग कर लेंगे. Then I told this fellow, Jhaji, he took 407 and went there, got the bull on the 407,
Okay.
took to the Goshala, and it got treated. Then I asked Jhaji, how could you arrange 407? How could you arrange bull going to, people are afraid of going to nearer to this. Sir, first of all, आपका नाम काफी है many चीज के लिए.
Right.
जब बुल को चढ़ाना है, many sheep you will get.
Right.
You want a leader. I was leading many people, including Pujari. Leadership is more important.
True.
Once a leader understands that there is no, shortage.
Sure.
That is why workers are never issue for me in Tata Steel.
Yes.
Leaders are the issue.
Good. Very good. Very good.
Converting workers is very easy. When somebody said DuPont consultant, we have huge contract labor problem. Then he said, you are lucky. It's very easy to convert contract labor.
Yes.
That's what he said. It is. Recently, 2 months back, I was at Calcutta. It's a workshop, seminar organized by the Labor Department and ILO. Somebody was asking about the contract labor fatalities. So I told the same thing. I am associated from here as an IIT professor. If I tell anybody, people give a lot of respect. Even the Secretary of the State, if I meet him, he'll start with sir. The Director of Factories of West Bengal, Ashish Sheet, he was so impressed with my talk. Then I told the Labor Secretary and him, from IIT Kharagpur, COE, we want to help West Bengal government. Don't worry about money. We don't require money, which we are going to do shortly for the small scale, all these industries. We want to help them. In fact, government doesn't have shortage of money. Please understand.
Yes.
The function they have arranged, the seminar they conducted, it was much professional than many of the private people who conduct, much luxurious than many of the people who organize.
Right.
So from IIT Kharagpur, from academic prestigious institute, if I talk to anybody in the government organizations, there is a respect, there is a prestige. Last month, I was in IIT Madras to talk on academia industry collaboration. Finally, what do the academics do? They have to help the industries. They are going to work in the industries.
Right.
Without industry experience, these academics will not be totally successful. Similarly, the industries, the leadership should be exposed to academics.
Right.
The academic thinking practitioner, the practitioners thinking academician are very successful.
Yes.
Right.
See how we started the COESEA. I came here for 1 year. Now I have completed 7.5 years.
Okay.
Last 3 years back when I want to go, I said, the present director has come. So Professor Tiwari, I'm leaving. Hey, why do we leave? Nay, if IIT brings a center of excellence in safety engineering and analytics, then I'll stay. Yeah, we'll get, please put up the note.
Acha.
We made the note. And COESE has come under the Institute of Institute of Eminence. Under the Institute of Eminence proposals of Government of India, COESE had come. So we were there during COVID time it came.
Right.
During COVID time, we did not keep quiet from COESE. We conducted 75 weekend talks, which are nothing but podcasts, across the world, collecting academicians and industry experts, speaking 1 hour every Friday from 8 to 9, whatever may be the time in the countries.
Perfect.
Can you believe? The speaker used to get up at 1 a.m. because many viewers will be from various countries.
Right.
And this was also telecast in the YouTube.
You can share the link. We can put it in the description.
Yeah, and you can put it in the description because it should
Yeah.
reach everybody who is listening to it. This is going very well, but you told me you have restricted time today. So maybe this is the right time to stop.
Let us stop.
We need to talk more about this leadership concept. If IT and NITs can start doing it, I'm sure every other university, deemed university, SRM Institute or Anna University, everybody will do it. So I think we should take it forward. Probably we will need your permission to have one more discussion or a few more discussions.
I have only one vision in my life. I am now 71 years. I don't look for money or anything. I want my experiences, my contributions should go to the people so that somebody in the industry are saved because of my talk, because of my contribution. That is the real tribute to me. I can contribute n number of times, no issue, provided this podcast is made useful to the workforce. There are still around 7,000 people every day dying in the industries. If it comes down, then that is okay. You plan properly, I will be there, no issue.
Thanks for the offer, Obi and Amber, Vikram. I will take the last comments, but before that, I would like both of you to spend 2 minutes. Any last minute comments?
No, it's okay. From my side, I say two things. I said, Vikram, at that time, I'll support you.
Yes.
I am supporting. And it is fulfilling my aspiration of reaching people, making an opportunity for the industry workers to live for more years by design, not by default, by understanding safety, following the safety principles, putting the interventions by design, which we call prevention through design. I am the expert on prevention through design. Prevention by design, people have to live in the industries,
Yeah.
not
Right.
by default. By
Not by
design, people have to live in the industry. That is my goal.
Sure. Very good.
Thank you.
So that's a pretty noble goal, and I agree with you. So we need to build solutions for these, and these are not tough problems. These are easy problems to solve. It's just that we need people to be enough motivation should be there in people to take this forward. If there are things which are going bad, they have to check it regularly. So one of the examples that came recently about the accident that happened in fire accident that happened in Jhansi. So the analysis that was done that the smoke sensors were not calibrated for last 2 years. The fire extinguisher was not checked for 2 years. So these are the things which are like completely solvable, and people, innocent children, are dying because of it. Like it's completely avoidable kind of a thing, right? And this is common in industries also. We come to know about these things only when big incident happens, but not daily somebody is dying in some industry because of flawed implementation or something missing. And that is something that we need to work on as a society. We need to evolve. It should not be that we are stuck with the same problem that our forefathers were facing and we are not even improving upon it. That is very bad for us as a society. I believe that this podcast and more podcasts in the future will help people not just understand the basics, but also know that implementation is more important. Your contribution in this is more important than anything else. So
Sure.
everyone has to involve, not just people who are working, but also people who are monitoring, people who are managing, people who are on the ground, people who are off the ground. So everyone has to get involved. Everyone has to know what is wrong, what is right, and how to fix it. Thank you, sir, for joining this podcast.
One thing which we have not discussed is the future of technology,
Oh,
which is
correct.
also going to help a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Vikram comes from that. There are many Vikrams in the world. You are from that, yeah. So basically, that is something we would like to cover moving forward, because there are many things in technology. Earlier, we were blaming everything on human behavior. Some of the behaviors can be controlled using technology. The thinking we should
Ganesh,
do.
let me tell you,
Aji.
now there is good research and establishment. Behavioral based safety, people are putting backside.
Yes.
Engineering safety in the right side.
Yes.
Right.
By putting engineering safety in right place, most of the hazards could be taken out.
Very true. But it's a
Followed by little
combination
bit
of both.
behavioral safety.
It's a blend of both.
We can talk one podcast only on engineering safety.
We should do that. Thank you very much, Sobi. Thanks for accepting the invitation. And I'm feeling so good to do this. And thanks a lot for that.
How can I say no, Ganesh?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Ganesh sir. And thank you, Vikram. This podcast, I learned a lot. And I'm sure the audience will find this very helpful in terms of learning and implementation as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And as we have discussed, we'll plan the next podcast on this theme. So until that time, thank you and have a nice day.